What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Los Angeles Angels franchise. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far here in year 3. One thing I noticed is we acquired Alec Bohm, and we really haven't talked about him. We acquired Austin Hayes, and we really haven't talked about him. So my goal here for the beginning of the video is to get a player lock game with each of them. Alec Bohm, 324 average with 4 home runs and 108 at-bats. An excellent start to the season for him. Austin Hayes, on the other hand, struggling a little bit with that 223 average. He struggled to hit right-handed hitting. But like I said, I want to get some player lock games with these guys. We'll kick it off with Alec Bohm. Just talked about his 324 average, 917 OPS, 20 RBIs. This guy has been a blast to play with when I have, but I really haven't even played with him as much as I would like. As this is going to be a swing and a miss and a stolen base for Mike Trout. As that is stolen base number... Are they going to show us? Nope, I do not know how many stolen bases that it is for Mike Trout. But Alec Bohm can hit righties extremely well with runners on with that 99 clutch. Some of the best that you can... it is the best that you can have. 87 vision to go with it. Power a little bit lower against right-handed pitching, but still... And as you look to take advantage of it, as Bohm is going to hit this one to the second baseman. It's off the glove, and it's going to be a base hit for Alec Bohm as the runner, Mike Trout, will advance to third. Just went with a contact swing right there. Wasn't trying to do too much, and then we hit it opposite field. Second baseman just couldn't make the play. It was hit pretty hard off the bat. So Patrick Wisdom with the 8 home runs, 27 RBIs, 266 average, which is extremely high with his standards. He's typically like a 210 hitter with 30-something home runs. This one's going to be hit on the ground. Looking to turn 2. It's not going to happen as we are going to score the first run of the game. As the second baseman is having his hands full at the moment. The second baseman is also Brandon Drury. I guess I should have mentioned that. Former Angel. We had him in Season 1 for about half of the season before we traded him away. So 2 on for Logan O'Hoppe. He's off to a pretty solid start of the season with a 295 average. And Nathan Eovaldi's had his hands full at the start of this game as O'Hoppe's going to hit this one to left center field. This one should score a run. Or what am I talking about? There's nobody on third. For some reason, I thought there were runners on second and third as opposed to first and second. Well, we'll advance to third on the spectacular play. We didn't even talk about the play that was made out there in center. Mickey Moniak to the plate now as he's going to swing and miss for strike 2. Not very often they show, a pitch that doesn't result in an out or a walk or, a base hit. As it's going to be a strikeout on Moniak to end the first inning. We do score 1 on the Patrick Wisdom RBI. Bottom 2 now as we are ahead 2-1. Runner on second here for Alec Bohm. As Bohm is going to hit this one back to the pitcher, Nathan Eovaldi, and he'll throw on to first to end the second inning. Here is Brandon Marsh, the former Angel, and he's going to hit this one down the line as Bohm is not going to have a play. He tried to with the dive, but was unable to get the reach on it. But Brandon Marsh, the former Angel, with a base hit to kick off the top half of the third. We go bottom 5 now. Eovaldi still on the mound. Score is still 2-1 for Alec Bohm. 0-2 count from Eovaldi, and Bohm is going to foul away the curveball to stay alive. 75 contact against righties is what he will typically see unless there are runners in scoring position. As Bohm is going to hit this one to right center. Center fielder trying to get there to make a play, and he will for the first out. Brandon Drury, of all people, hits a solo shot to tie the game up 2-2, and Ryan Stanek is on the mound for the Phillies as we head to the bottom of the 7th, trying to break that tie. Alec Bohm ahead in the count 3-1 here on Stanek. He's thrown a mix of fastballs and splitters here in this at-bat, as that one was the one to swing at, and I was just late. It caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it. By the time I decided I was going to swing, I was too late. So here's the 3-2 count upcoming from Stanek, and it's going to be a strikeout on Alec Bohm. The first strikeout for Stanek in relief here as we go top 8. Jimmy Herget on the mound. He has been very good in the series, and he just continues to be exciting to have on the mound, as this is going to be a base hit for Bryce Harper. He'll stay put at first. Bottom 9, runner on first here for Alec Bohm. The runner is Mike Trout, so it's speed on first. Something hitting the gap here could end this game, but we're facing a sidearm pitcher, Tyler Rogers. I don't think I'm going to fare too well against a sidearm pitcher. I just can't hit them. It's back-to-back episodes you guys have seen now where I'm facing pitchers that are just impossible to hit. I'm going to go contact swing here with Bohm, as this one's going to be hit, and it's going to be a 5-4-3 double play for the Phillies. Oh, Hoppy walks it off with an RBI single, and that is a win for your Halos. Got to be pleased with that one right there. As Alec Bohm finishes 1 for 5, but Rengifo and Ohapi each with 2 hits. And then Jordan Montgomery on the mound pitched pretty well. Jimmy Herget and Ben Joyce lock it down the remainder of the game. So we got a player lock game with Alec Bohm. Let's get a player lock game in with the struggling Austin Hayes. As here, top of the first, bases are juiced for the Phillies. You can't draw this one up any worse than this. Hayes is going to range back right here. I think the best thing is to just throw it to third. We're going to come up firing as the runner will be safe at third, and a run will score as John Means' rough start continues here in year 3. All right, now it's our turn. Bases juiced, bottom of the second, nobody out. The rain is coming down, and Austin Hayes has hit lefties pretty well this season as opposed to hitting righties, as this one's hit down the line, but just foul. A huge chance for the Angels, as that's a big curveball by Colby Allard for strike number 2. We're going to go contact swing right here. Just put the ball in play, if at all possible, as that one was hit pretty well, just foul. Here's the 1-2 from Allard, as it's going to be another foul ball for Austin Hayes. Somebody who I'm thinking about trying to platoon potentially in a modified platoon, because he struggled to hit righties this season. His attributes are not bad against righties. It's just he struggled, actually hitting them in live play. So, I'm thinking about platooning somebody with him. Who could that be? Well, it could be Sean Skinner. It could be Jordan Adams. 2 guys are down at the AAA level, but Sean Skinner, probably the most likely candidate. So that's something to think about. As this one's going to be hit on the ground, it's going to be a double play, but a run will score for the Angels to tie the game up in the second. There's Brandon Drury standing in here for the Phillies. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Hit a home run in the game that we just played with Alec Bohm, as this one's going to bounce in front of Hayes. He'll get it in quickly to hold the runner at second. 3-2 count for Nick Castellanos. He's going to hit this one, as Hayes will get there in time to make the play, and that will keep the runners where they're at. Trey Turner with a solo shot to give the Phillies a 2-1 lead as we get to the bottom of the 5th. Here's the 1-2 from Allard, and this one is going to be popped up to left center field. That's a circle change right down the middle. Good swing timing and everything, just got 2 under it. That's a perfect opportunity, but Rengifo with an RBI double, Trot with an RBI single, and Patrick Wisdom with a 3-run bomb, his 9th of the season, gives us a 6-2 lead against the Fightin' Phils. And Hayes is going to try and get underneath this one. He elevates it, just not deep enough, as that's going to be the second out. Brandon Marsh there to make the play. Okay, 8-4. Alec Bohm with a 2-run shot, and then Bryce Harper with a 2 RBI single makes this 8-4. High-scoring game here in the rain as Chase Silseth is on the mound, and he's going to give up. No, Bohm is there to make the play for the second out. Austin Hayes quickly down 0-2 in the count here against Taijuan Walker here in the 8th inning, as that was a cutter that had a lot of movement. Only 14,000 in attendance for this game. Gonna imagine that's due to the rain. We'll do the 0-2 again, as it's gonna be fouled away by Hayes. That's something I love about MLB the Show is, if the game is rainy, you're gonna see that there's not a lot of fans, and it's gonna reflect when it shows you, how many people were at the game. Something that Madden just hasn't gotten right. Hopefully the new college football game gets it right. There's no reason that, there should be a packed house when your team is 1-3 and you're in the Conference USA. There's no reason that you should have a packed stadium. It's just not realistic. This has been a long at-bat for Austin Hayes. He just fouled away another curveball. Pitch number 8 upcoming from Taijuan Walker. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a splitter that falls in for a ball. 9th pitch upcoming. Full count now for Austin Hayes. I said bases loaded. 3-2, bases loaded. Sometimes can be the same thing, as Austin Hayes is going to pick up a base knock here in the 8th inning, so he's not going to be hitless. And that's going to improve his average against right-handed pitching. Joe Adell is somebody that's probably going down. So when I talk about platooning Austin Hayes. This is what I mean. Joe Adell, 0 for 3, and he's batting 167 at the moment. You know, I want to try it out with Kemp Alderman, but I just don't think he's our answer, especially if we're trying to be competitive and potentially make a playoff run this season. I don't think Kemp Alderman, a Rule 5 pickup, is going to be the answer out there in the field. So a 3-hit day for Alec Boehm, 2 hits for Trout, Wisdom, and Shanuel, trying to improve his average. John Means gave up 4 earned, but it was Chase Silseth and Andrew Wantz who did their thing the rest of the way out. Michael King, top 9. He is working on a 1-hitter at the moment. They want me to hop in. I'm going to simulate to the end of the game. We do win 7-0, and it's a series sweep against the Philadelphia Phillies. 2 hits for Patrick Wisdom. He did homer again. Andy Ibanez also hit a home run. A triple for Wisdom as well, and then Mickey Moniak with a double. Michael King goes 9 innings, only allowing the 1 hit, walked 1, and struck out 8. That is his best start. It feels like since I started saying that was Michael King's best start, he's continuously gotten better. As we are now 1 month into the season, sitting at 17-14, you cannot complain about that. So Ronnie Enriquez had a very strong month in April with a .64 ERA over 14 innings of work. I don't think that's accurate. It's a 1 ERA, so not very accurate, but somebody who I'm really liking. I've been playing some AA and AAA games off camera, just trying to, feel these guys out and get excited about our farm system. Ronnie Enriquez is the one guy who has gotten me very excited. He's got the velocity. For some reason, he's seeing a -1 to his walks per 9, but he's somebody that next season, when Robert Stevenson becomes a free agent, Ronnie Enriquez is probably going to get the call up. Eric Ma, I would like to see him get the call up as well. I'm going to need to see a little bit more out of him, but he is, stepping in the right direction. And then we just talked about Sean Skinner. He has a .295 average, 4 home runs, 7 steals, 88 at-bats on the season. We're seeing some increased stat power as well, which is something that I've wanted to see for a while. I think it is probably getting to about that time where we see him make his MLB debut. Fernando Guillen is the last guy I wanted to talk about here. Not seeing too many increases, but with that 2.11 ERA, less than a 1 whip, only walking 7 batters and 42 innings of work. He's probably going to get the call up here soon as well. Here's a series against the Seattle Mariners as we got the bases loaded here in the top of the 9th with only 1 out. Should we enter here? I'm going to simulate to the end of the game. We win this one 2-1, so it's a 4-game winning streak. Luis Rengifo with a 4 for 4 day. Mike Trout with a hit, but it was Luis Rengifo's day. He was the one that pretty much saved us in this game. He didn't have an RBI, though, so Alec Boehm and Logan O'Hoppe, guys that were hitless, were the ones that actually helped us out. Reed Detmer, 7 innings of work, allowing only the 1 earned, so that maybe just saved him as Andrew Wantz picks up the save. And then looking at the Salt Lake Bees, Fernando Guillen goes 9 innings, only allowing 3 hits. It's a complete game shutout. The reason I bring that up, that Reed Detmers might have just saved himself, is because I'm getting very close to getting rid of this guy. And I think that I still might do it right now. John Means has also struggled, so maybe he's somebody you could get rid of. I don't know. Maybe we just go one more start for Reed Detmers and see what happens. As Griffin Canning is on the mound here against the Mariners. And we're going to lose this one 1-2. And Jordan Adams, with a broken hand, will be out for 1 to 2 months. It's time to scout. So we discovered 2 infield prospects here, so I'll go ahead and show those guys to you. Rod Kim, not very good, and then Oswaldo Geronimo. Heck of a name, just not very good. And then looking at the starting pitchers here that we've continued to get looks at. Kenji Nakamura is somebody that I'm very intrigued with. What about Manuel Valenzuela as well? 6'5", 215. He is a right-handed pitcher. I'd love to pick up a lefty, but he looks pretty solid. So nothing's going to change here with the starting pitchers in the international region. We're going to continue to look at these guys. Should I look at the infield prospects one more time? I think that's what I'm going to do. Actually, as a matter of fact, I don't think we're going to do that because I'm just not getting enough information, and I'm not discovering enough of these guys to truly be excited about it. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to discover prospects in the East and Central region, and I'm looking for potential catchers of the future We're going to continue looking at these starting pitchers out of the international region like I mentioned. But that's the goal. We're not really doing any individual scouting at the moment. I don't know if that's the right call. It's just what I've decided to do. Jordan Montgomery on the mound now, as we are going to pick up this victory 5-3, so it's another series win. Bunch of guys with just one hit. Mike Trout with a home run, and Jordan Montgomery had a very good game on a mound. Tanner Scott and Andrew Wentz continue to impress me. With the injury to Jordan Adams, Nelson Rada is going to get the call up to the AAA roster the first time in the series. I talked about him a little bit at the beginning of last episode. Somebody that I really do find very intriguing. The defense looks really good. The speed looks really good. If he can develop some contact and power, develop that bat a little bit, he's somebody that could be, a good utility or outfield utility guy on the big league roster. So he'll get the call up, and in return, we're going to go ahead and call up David Calabrese to the AA roster. So Tanner Scoble is eligible to be reinstated. He's still going to be injured, so we'll go ahead and keep him on the 10-day IL as we have a series against the Detroit Tigers. It's a 4-game series. John Means on the mound here to start. He has struggled, and maybe he continues his struggles, but looked like the bats really kind of let us down in this one as John Means actually pitched pretty well. Chase Silseth gave up 2 earned, so that's a little rough. But Michael King on the mound, I think I want to get a player lock game with him because he continues to pitch extremely well. He started off pretty slow to the season, but he's really locked in at the moment. Joe Adell really is not giving us a chance to win games with that 143 average, so I think a move is probably going to happen pretty soon with Sean Skinner getting the call up to the big league level. As here we are in Detroit for Michael King, as we're going to look to get a pretty good start out of him, as Zach Neto is going to try and make the play, and Akil Baddoo is going to outrun the throw. That's a tough play for Neto to make. Alex Kirilloff is on the Detroit Tigers here, as we're 19-16 as we hold the 3rd wild card seed at the moment. The season is still young, so it's nothing to really get your panties in a bunch about, as this one is not going to be a play that anybody can make. It's another tough play for Zach Neto, and now there's 2 runners aboard, and they're both infield. Whoa, they called that an out. So what a play by Zach Neto. Was it an out? Oh no, he was safe by a mile. So a blown call. Wait, what in the world? Who was out? This game just glitched heavy because the runner was safe at first. He was. For some reason, oh my gosh. If you want to feel stupid, watch this back. Try to think as stupid as possible, and that's what just happened to me. Let's forget about that. I don't want to talk about it. In my defense, I did not know that Zach Neto threw the ball to second because I wasn't turned towards second as the play was going on. So when I looked at the replay, I just thought he threw to first. So in my defense, I don't know if I'm that stupid, as Riley Green is going to pick up a base knock, moves the runner over to second, as now there's 2 on for real this time with 1 out. As Kerry Carpenter is going to foul away a 95-mile-per-hour sinker ball. Michael King is a double play pitcher, as that circle change was not where I wanted it to go. As we got an 0-2 count, here's the slurve. Luckily, that one was fouled away. Had it not been, it definitely would have been the first run of the game. As this sinker is going to be hit on the ground to Alec Boehm, on to Rengifo to Shanuel for a double play to end the first inning. Spencer Torkelson, 276 average, and he just gave the Tigers the lead. It's a deep shot to left as Michael King wishes he could get that one back. Maybe next time don't throw a four-seam fastball right down the middle to a huge power hitter. As Jake Rogers is going to pop this one up to second. Rengifo gets under it, and he's there. And that's another home run. It's Jace Young who is going to give the Tigers a 2-0 lead. Michael King, not his day. I tend to screw up people's hot streaks when I player lock with them. Now you got Javi Baez to the plate, batting 8th. He has really went downhill. Michael King's going to pick up the strikeout on Javier Baez as the slurve picks him up his second out. You know, if you can go 6 innings allowing the 2 earned, that's a pretty good start. It would drop his ERA even lower because it is above a 3 at the moment. We'll see how the rest of the game plays out as he's going to pick up back-to-back strikeouts to end the second inning. Let's see if the offense can give him some runs. They gave him 3. It's Patrick Wisdom with a 3-run home run. His 10th, I do believe, now on the season. It's another strikeout for Michael King. It's the sinker this time getting the job done in the third of the game for our ace. As this sinker is going to be rolled over Rengifo there for the second out. As Michael King has retired 4 straight now. As it's going to be 5 straight as Alec Boehm picks up the third out. A nice bounce back inning for Michael King. Kerry Carpenter puts a drive into this one as it's hit deep to left center field off the wall. And it's going to be a leadoff double for Kerry Carpenter. As Spencer Torkelson comes to the plate again. This one's hit pretty well to deep left field. It's hit back to the warning track. And it's going to be robbed by Austin Hayes. The runner will advance to third, though. What a play by Austin Hayes out there in left field. Let's get another look at it and see if he actually did rob this. As he ranges back all the way to the wall. Yeah. It's not the most cinematic robbed home run, but he definitely did rob Spencer Torkelson of his second home run of the game. Here's the 2-2. And it's going to be another strikeout for Michael King as this sinker didn't really sink. It pretty much rised as Jake Rogers had his hands full. And now it's going to be Josh Young. Or is it Josh Young or Josh Jung? It's the same thing with, or Jace. Are they brothers? I don't even know. I know Josh Young, he is on the Texas Rangers. Is Jace his brother? And how do you say their last name? Here's the 1-1-2. I mean, that one is going to be swung through by Jace. That's what I'm going to call him. As we go 1-2 count, it's another strikeout for Michael King as he gets out of the jam. Javi Baez up to the plate now, 0 for 1 on the day. His ratings continue to go down. He's played 13 seasons at this point as he's going to swing and miss at the slurve. At this point, it's hard to believe that, he's an old head in the MLB. As he's going to pop this one up to Neto, who is there to make the play. Hao Yu Lee, number 4 prospect in the Tigers system. I don't know if this is a generated player here. 23 years old. I'm pretty sure that's a real-life prospect. I don't really know. He could have been drafted, but it's not very often you get the actual Korean-style name written out as opposed to, for some reason, MLB the Show, when they do drafts, the guy's name will be Tom Lee, and he's from South Korea. As it's going to be another strikeout for Michael King. He is dealing at the moment. It's the slurve this time that gets the out for him. 6 strikeouts as the Tigers are now to the top of their lineup again as Akil Baddoo is 1 for 2 on the day so far. Another swing and miss. It's Akil Baddoo missing on the sinker. 0-2 count. Here's the slurve. Just misses the zone. 2 count. Not even going to bite at that one. I'm going to go 4-seam fastball up and in, see if it works. Here's the pitch. It's going to miss just barely as now the count is full. Had an 0-2 count lead on the guy, and now he is battling back. The 3-2 fouled away again. 3-2 count. Here's the circle change. It's the 7th strikeout for Michael King. This guy is on fire. Still no change to the score now as Alex Kirilloff leads off the bottom of the 6th. He hits righties pretty well, struggles against lefties. Remember, I had Kirilloff in my Cincinnati Reds franchise. You guys really didn't get to see a whole lot of them, but funny enough, last night I was kind of curious. Could I go through and just start doing some simulating? Because if you guys remember guys like Marco Bautista, Mikey Ishii, our top draft picks, some guys that I was extremely excited about for that series. Didn't get the chance to finish it. I did simulate, and we won the World Series in 2029, pretty much retaining the crew that I had. And I know there was an off season that I did that you guys didn't get a chance to see, but the main guys like Marco Bautista, Ellie De La Cruz did develop in that series, or, in that franchise save. Cam Collier did as well, surprisingly. But I just thought that was kind of ironic. I did play a little bit of that series or that franchise, and I did end up winning the World Series in 2029. So just in case you guys were curious at all, as we have an 0-2 count lead here on Kerry Carpenter, it's another 1-2-3 inning for Michael King. And that's Spencer Torkelson as Luis Rengifo hit a solo shot to give us a 4-2 lead here in the 7th inning. What I thought was probably going to be a pretty quick start for Michael King has turned into an excellent start, as Torkelson's going to chop this one on the ground to Rengifo for the first out. Here's Jake Rogers up now, and he's going to put a drive into this one. It's hit a ton, and it's gone. It's a line drive shot as Jake Rogers cuts into the lead. Score 4-3 now, as they are going to opt to keep Michael King in the game, as Jace Young does sound correct. I'm on that topic again. He's got a homer in this game. He's 1 for 2, as this has definitely got to be Michael King's last inning, as this one's going to be hit on the ground to Neto. 2 outs. Okay, one more at bat here against Javi Baez. I think this should be interesting. All you got to do is throw the slider all the way out here, and he will swing. So the game must know that Baez cannot hit breaking balls, because the only thing that Logan O'Hoppe is calling behind the dish right now are breaking balls. He's calling for one again. Here's the 2-2, the pitch, and Baez does poke his bat out there and make contact, but it is going to be a ground out to finish off the 7th. Michael King with an excellent start. We'll see if they roll him out there for the 8th. No, they won't. Instead, they'll bring out Tanner Scott, who's been pretty solid, and we're going to lose. Sweet. 3 hits for Patrick Wisdom. Rengifo also homered. Andrew Wantz gives up the 2 runs that end up losing us this game. Michael King, an excellent start. An unfortunate outcome. So we're down 2-0 in the series here against the Detroit Tigers. Let's get a player lot game in with Patrick Wisdom. His 11 home runs, hitting a .273 average. Seeing some other guys like Mickey Moniak, Austin Hayes, Nolan Shanuel continuing to struggle. Mike Trout's down to a .265 average at the moment. Top of the lineup's been pretty solid. The bottom of the lineup has struggled at the moment. But I really do not want to get swept. So top of the first, runners on second and third here for Patrick Wisdom. That just came in extremely slow. An 82 mile per hour slider. It's pretty impressive, as the Tigers are 20-16 on the season. I really do like this stadium. I like the backdrop that you get here in Detroit. As Wisdom's going to swing through a fastball that was right where you'd like it. As he's going to strike out on the slider, leaving runners hanging on second and third. But the score is 2-2 now, as Zach Neto hit a solo shot, and then Mike Trout later RBI'd, or drove a run in, I should say. As we go top 3 now, Matt Manning still on the mound. And somehow Patrick Wisdom also has 3 triples on the season. Not really known for his speed, but it is what it is. As he's going to put a drive into this one, deep left center field. This one's back, and it is run down in the gap. Kerry Carpenter gets there, 100 miles per hour off the bat. You're fully expecting that one to carry out. That is not the case. Wisdom has been better against lefties than righties so far this season. But with the power he has, it really shouldn't matter, as this is going to be an 0 for 3 days so far for Patrick Wisdom. Top 8, runner on first. This is an opportunity to potentially tie the game up with a home run. 3-0 count upcoming. I'm thinking I'm going to go with a power swing. I'm giving Patrick Wisdom the green light here, as I'm going to swing through the fastball. Just a little too late. It's hard for me to time up the pitches when I do a power swing. It just feels different. All right, count's now 3-2. Runner will be on the move, so something hitting the gap could potentially score in Rengifo. Here's the pitch. And this is going to be a strikeout. Patrick Wisdom is going to whiff for the second time in this game, and we're also going to lose. We are at risk of being swept. 3 hits for Luis Rengifo. He's been playing good, as Reed Detmer's pretty much just made his bed. 4 innings of work, 4 earned. Picked up 8 strikeouts, but yeah, he pretty much just made his bed. Now it's time for him to sleep in it. As we could be 19-19, and we are, as we've been swept by the Detroit Tigers. The bats went cold. It's a home run for Alec Bohm, but Griffin Canning allows 4 earned. Chase Silseth struggling, and Jimmy Herget as well gives up an earned run. But I think it's time to potentially make a move. The first order of business is Joe Adell is going down to the AAA level. He'll have to pass through waivers, so somebody may claim him. But Sean Skinner is going to be making his MLB debut. It's been a long time coming. He's made some progress. 80 contact versus lefties. The power is also increasing, and he had a 3.0 something average at the AAA level. It's time for Sean Skinner to make his MLB debut. It just is. And then there's also one other move that will be made as well, and that is going to be Fernando Guillen with that 1.74 ERA, 0.79 whip. Not really seeing attribute increases for whatever reason, but it's time for him to be moved up to the MLB level as well. Matt Horvath playing at the AA level. He's 23 years old, B potential. He'll replace, or I guess he'll be replacing, he'll be replacing Sean Skinner at the AAA level. And then one of these guys right here are going to be replacing Fernando Guillen. So they'll be moved up to the AAA level. There is somebody that's playing at AA right now that's been dominating, Guillermo Avalos. He could get the call up to AAA, but my goal with him is to allow him to get the full season at AA and really show us what he can do, because with that 1.94 ERA, less than a 1 whip, striking out pretty much more than 9 batters per 9 innings is pretty solid. So you may be wondering, how are we going to have 27 guys on the MLB roster? Well, I'm going to tell you how. We are going to be sending Reed Detmers, a potential 82 overall, 26 years old, a little bit of, team control left, to the Cleveland Guardians for Herb Saunders, an 18-year-old left-handed pitcher. So we've been wanting lefty prospects as far as pitching goes. He is C potential, but he's a high C potential at 78 potential. He's seeing rating increases. He eliminates the walks. He eliminates the home runs. He'd have to get better at striking guys out, but that's the move. Reed Detmers has struggled for long enough in this system. He's somebody that I'm not putting up with anymore. Maybe he can go over to Cleveland, where they tend to do a lot better with pitchers than we are. I think it's the right move. We're bringing in a left-handed prospect, and in turn, we're giving Reed Detmers, somebody who last season had a 7.61 ERA, a 5.1 ERA so far this season. The whip doesn't indicate that he's going to get any better. The FIP as well, still not good. Giving up less home runs, but he's not striking out as much, and he's walking the same amount of batters per 9. I'm just not wanting to put up with it anymore. He is dragging our team down at the moment. It's the move. Herb Saunders, welcome to the Los Angeles Angels farm system. It's a big move, but I think it's the right move. So with that all being said, we are going to hop in here, and we are going to get Fernando Guillen back on the mound, and we will also see the MLB debut for Sean Skinner. Sean Skinner actually is pretty exhausted here, so that does suck, but we'll see what he can do in a situation where he's a little bit tired. Nolan Shanuel with a 215 average is crazy, by the way. Something we're going to have to figure out really quick, because somebody who has that contact skill, that discipline skill at the plate, but struggling that much is just not good. As here we are, 19-19 here in Anaheim. The goal here is to pitch with Fernando Guillen, and then at the same time, we're going to get all of the at-bats with Sean Skinner as well. That right there is perfect for a thumbnail. Welcome to Los Angeles, Sean Skinner. I think that's the move. He's our number 6 prospect. Doesn't really make too much sense. We have 7 in the top 100. The second-ranked farm system in baseball. Lawrence Byler, Dennis Brown, Ken Nomo, Eric Mott, guys we're super excited about. Ramon Ramirez as well is somebody that I'm extremely excited about. Fernando Guillen, welcome back to the big league club. 3.97 ERA a year ago, 1.29 whip, 78 strikeouts. I'm glad to have him back. As Jeremy Pena leading off is going to pop this one up behind the plate. Ohapi is there for the first out. It's a quick first out here in Anaheim. Fernando Guillen had a really tough spring, but he used that as an opportunity to get better, because when he went down to the AAA level, he really never looked back. He was very good down there at Salt Lake. Now we have him back up to the big league roster, and I'm extremely excited about that, because it's about time Reed Detmers was out of this system. He just was not getting it done. He's gotten worse, and I didn't want to put up with it any longer. Fernando Guillen hopefully doesn't make me look stupid. The goal here has got to be to find the strike zone and hit the strike zone early. You can't walk batters. I've seen it happen way too many times where I'm trying to player lock with somebody and I walk too many batters to start the game out, and it really comes back to haunt you. Pretty big at bat here for Ramon Urias. That's definitely a strike not called, though. So the count will go to 2-2. He's staying alive. Fernando Guillen, another pitch will be upcoming. It's been 11 pitches so far in the inning. 10 of them have been in this at bat. Here's the 2-2 and another foul ball for the Astros. Can Guillen please get the out here? Here's the two-seam. It's another foul ball. 14th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Here's the 2-2. And Fernando Guillen will finally get the strikeout. It took way too long. As now it's Yordan Alvarez up to the plate. Lucky the Astros don't have Kyle Tucker anymore. That's nice. And this is a division rival as well. So this is a pretty important game early in the season as we're 19-19. I'd love to stay 500 or better. You don't want to fall below 500 because that's just a slippery slope that you don't want to go down. As this one's going to be hit to left center, and Skinner is there for the third out. He gets to make his first play in an Angels uniform. As here's Jose Altuve, 397 average, 7 home runs so far this season. He's getting older, but he doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon, as that's definitely got to be called a strike. I mean, his attributes are crazy. 91 contact, 74 power. Got to be careful where you place these pitches here. Here's the 2-2 upcoming from Fernando Guillen as the splitter is going to be fouled away by Altuve. That splitter has definitely got to be a pitch that Fernando Guillen really nails, and that's that strikeout pitch. If he ever develops a strikeout pitch, it's going to be that slider or that splitter, and I think the splitter is the one that could get more batters, as this one's going to be grounded to Neto. Only 50 speed for Jose Altuve, the one attribute that has gone down as he's gotten older. That's Alex Bregman standing in, still in an Astros uniform. Love to strike this cheater out, as his attributes are still ridiculous. Holy crap. This Astros team is getting older, but they're still very good. As this one's going to be hit back up the middle. It's going to be a base knock for Alex Bregman. Looks like we're not going to strike him out. Yainer Diaz, somebody that I give up a lot of home runs to, and I feel like I might have just jinxed it. I hope I didn't, but I have not been good against him. The two-seam fastball gets across twice for 2 strikes. Let's try and get the strikeout pitch with the slider, and we will! Yainer Diaz didn't take the bat off his shoulder, and it's a strikeout for Fernando Guillen. The two-seam fastball twice in that at-bat, along with the slider, picks up the strikeout. As now it's Pavin Smith up now for the Astros. That two-seam fastball is getting it done at the moment, as this one's going to be popped up to Skinner for the final out of the inning, or the top half of the inning. Jose Trevino up now for the Houston Astros. He's working on a 348 average so far this season. And I got to tell you what, the pitch that's worked for Guillen so far in this one is that two-seam fastball. And it's not going to work anymore, as this one was crushed to left center field. That is that commentator jinx right there. And now it's Christian Pache up now for the Astros. Yeah, that sucks right there. It's going to be an Astros lead of 1-0. How is this dude on an MLB roster? His attributes are terrible. He has performed, though. 245 average, I guess, means he's performing decently well. As he's going to ground this one over to Shanuel for out number 1. Jeremy Pena up now for the Astros. World Series MVP back in 2021, 2022, one of those years. Can't really remember. As he's going to poke his bat out there and hit this one to right field. Moniak gets under it for the second out. A long at-bat the last time we faced this guy. And we're not going to get that again, as Alec Boehm is going to range over to the mound for the third out. A home run for the Astros, but overall, can't be too upset. As here is Sean Skinner with his first big league at-bat. Definitely have been excited to get him up to the big league roster this entire series. He spent the whole year last year at the minors. Finally gets his opportunity at the big leagues. the 50th ranked prospect in baseball, somehow 6th in our organization, which doesn't make too much sense. But if I was making the rankings, he'd probably be our number 1 prospect. Quickly down 0-2 here for his first big league at-bat. And he's going to get underneath the knuckle curve and pop out to Jeremy Pena for his first official MLB at-bat. Yordan Alvarez stands in here for the Astros. As Fernando Guillen just trying to paint the corners here. 98 contact versus righties, 98 power versus righties. This guy is something else. We'll try to go up and in, but if you're going to miss, you want to definitely miss out of the zone. But I also don't want to be afraid to face this guy either. Here's the 3-1, and that's going to result in a bases clearing leadoff walk for the Astros. This was the April player of the month here, and Jose Altuve, and he's quickly down 0-2 in the count. As it's going to be another strikeout for Fernando Guillen. Sets him up with the fastballs and then strikes him out with the slider. That really doesn't have that much break on it. But these hitters aren't ready for it. Another perfect pitch from Guillen there. That four-seam fastball right on the corner. As this one's going to be hit down the line. And this one is going to be extra bases for Alex Bregman. Trying to get it in as quick as possible. As Yordan will be held up at third. Runners on second and third now with only 1 out. And it's Yainer Diaz to the plate. That slider missed terribly. As he's going to hit this one deep to left field. Skinner ranging back to the track. And this one is probably going to be a run. For the Astros it is. The second run for Houston. Can Skinner get there to make a play? No, he cannot. So count will go 1-1 for Pavin Smith. Guillen with a rough third and fourth inning so far, but overall against a lineup like this, if your offense was helping you out a little bit, it wouldn't look as bad. So that will finish the top half of the fourth off. 2-0 the Astros lead. Can we get some offense going? All right, runners on the corner now for Alec Boehm as he is going to field into a double play. Why were we not running on third? This is going to score us. Okay, must have been an infield single. Why is Rengifo not running? And now it's Mickey Moniak with a grand slam to give us a 4-2 lead. What a stupid inning. Sean Skinner will come to the plate now with 2 outs. I mean, what in the world was that all about? Why was Rengifo not running home? Sean Skinner with his second at-bat here. As this one's going to be hit to Altuve, who will take care of it for the final out. Skinner swinging quick into the count. First pitch swinging. As we go to top 5 now for Fernando Guillen as he'll face Jose Trevino to start off the top half of the 5th. Trevino hit a home run in his first at-bat. So looking to not throw a two-seam fastball right on the middle this time. As Skinner with speed is going to get there to make the play. Sean Skinner has very good defensive skills, and that's going to be another thing that really makes me want to play him more. As Trout's going to range over to his left, and he's there to make the play. Mike Trout will probably DH, not next season because we will have Patrick Wisdom still. The following season, Trout will probably DH, and then from there, Sean Skinner will pretty much be handed over the starting center field role the rest of his career. Or at least until the rest of his career here in Anaheim. I don't know how it's going to play out. And there you go, Jeremy Pena, 2022 World Series MVP. The thing about guys like Dennis Brown, they're going to be your everyday starting second baseman here. Not next season, but probably the season after that, his age 20 season. He'll probably be your everyday second baseman. The two-seam fastball hasn't been too good for Skinner in this game. It worked early. He doesn't really have much confidence in it at the moment. 2-2 count upcoming to Jeremy Pena. Count goes full. You'd love to get out of this inning with a 1-2-3 inning, especially after your team just gave you 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Let's go with the splitter here. Pitch number 72 upcoming for Skinner, and this one, or Guillen, I should say. And this one's going to be grounded to Neto for the final out of the top half of the 5th. It's 9-1-2 upcoming for the Angels. If you didn't know, I'm going in here and I'm quick managing until we can get an at-bat with Sean Skinner. It's a single for Trout, a single for Alec Boehm, as Patrick Wisdom's going to strike out. And I think this will be the last inning for Fernando Guillen here in the 6th. So what I'll go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and warm up somebody. Let's go ahead and warm up Robert Stevenson and Caleb Ferguson. The 1-1 is going to be popped up to Skinner out there in left. He's got the silver badge. I think he had the gold badge at AAA. I think as he progressed to the big league level, it might have went down a little bit. As it's Yordan Alvarez standing in. He is 0 for 1 on the day, as that fastball is in there for strike 1. 329 average for Yordan. Somebody who's always competing for MVPs here in any series you're going to do in MLB the Show. As this splitter is going to be hit. Rengifo there, and Guillen is going to cover first for the 2nd out. The shift was on. Shanuel laid out, couldn't make the play. Rengifo lays out, he makes the play, and Fernando Guillen has the awareness to get over to first and cover. That is a very good play. Shanuel with the effort, Rengifo with the exceptional effort, and then just the knowledge by Fernando Guillen to get over to first and cover. Got to be pleased with that. Moniak is there for the final out, and it's a very good bounce back game for Fernando Guillen. And I say bounce back because he struggled in the spring. If you guys watched that episode, he did struggle. It's good to see that he's back to his old self. And we're going to bring in Caleb Ferguson here in the 7th inning. 5.68 ERA has not been good. We're going to go into quick manage here, and he gets 1 out. He gets 2 outs, and Pavin Smith is going to have himself a double. Jose Trevino, we're going to go ahead and keep. Okay, so Robert Stevenson actually comes in here, picks up the strikeout, and it's Sean Skinner now facing Carlos Rodon. So this is where Sean Skinner is at his best, against left-handed pitching. Let's see it on display here, as this one's hit high in the air to left. I thought he got a little bit more than that. And unfortunately, it looks like Sean Skinner may end his MLB debut 0 for 3. A double for Rengifo, and then Trout strikes out. Robert Stevenson stays in the game, picks up a strikeout, followed by a ground out, and then Tanner Scott will take over to face Urias. Yordan Alvarez now up, and he's going to ground out. We go bottom 8 now. Alec Bohm with a pop-up. Patrick Wisdom gives us a 5-2 lead. O'Hoppe with a single. Moniak striking out. We need Zach Neto to get on base. He's not going to. And now Andrew Wantz will come in to try and close this game out. Bregman with a single. There's a fly out, and it's Pavin Smith. And we're going to face him ourselves. Pavin Smith quickly down 0-2 in the count. Here's the 0-2 from Wantz. This one's popped up to left field. Skinner may finish the day 0 for 3, but he will get the final out as the Angels pick up the win here against the Astros. Fernando Guillen needs to get a new haircut. That flat top is not it. Holy crap, buddy. Got to be pleased with that game, though. We saw pretty much how everything played out. Sean Skinner probably needs a day off. Fernando Guillen with an excellent start, though, as we pick up the victory against our division rivals, the Houston Astros. Game 2 of the series, it's John Means on the mound, and he has continued to struggle this year. 3 hits for Shanuel, 3 for Andy Ibanez. He also picked up a home run. John Means allows 4 earned. Chase Silseth allows 2. As it's the rubber match now, Michael King on the mound against Christian Javier. It's time to scout as well. So we discovered 1 catcher. Let's see how good this catcher is. Edward Williams, 156th on our board, 19-year-old. Looks like he could be solid. I mean, overall, you'd really have to look into the guy, but it's not too bad. So we didn't get anybody out of the Central region for catchers, so I'm going to go ahead and edit that and go catchers international. And then right here, we can go ahead and edit this to go outfield west and just see if we can discover anybody. And then looking at the starting pitchers here, a lot of these guys are about 50%. We'll probably do a couple more weeks of scouting these starting pitchers out of the international region. But really nobody to talk about here. Maybe we can go ahead and look at Sonny Valido. Looks pretty solid. Valenzuela also looks pretty good. We've finished up the scouting profile on Kenji Nakamura. If he's there, we're probably taking him. But that's really the only guys that are good international pitchers here. So maybe we've seen all we need to see at this moment. So that's going to wrap up scouting here. And we're going to get a player lock game in with Sean Skinner to get some extra at-bats here. We're playing against Christian Javier as well, which I think he's a left-handed pitcher, so it'll be nice to see Skinner get... Yeah, it is a lefty on the mound. So it'll be nice to see Skinner get an opportunity here against a lefty. We started off the episode 14-14. We've only played 12 games so far. We're 20-20 now. We have an opportunity to finish off this episode above 500. Michael King has been really good for us this year. He started off slow, but he's gotten better. Harrison Bader leading off for the Astros. A chance to win the series against our rivals. As this one's going to be a base hit for Harrison Bader. Jordan up now, and he's going to hit this one to Skinner out and left. He gets the ball in quickly, but it's 2 hits in the inning for the Astros. But it results in nothing. Moniak with a solo shot and Rengifo with a solo shot gives us a 2-0 lead. And Christian Javier is actually not a lefty. Maybe I'm just tripping then. So the goal here is to do a modified platoon with Austin Hayes. Austin Hayes has struggled against righties. This one's chopped down the line as it's going to be a first out for Sean Skinner. But Austin Hayes has struggled against righties. So the goal is Sean Skinner will play 1 week against righties, or he'll be, as the starting left fielder against righties for 1 week. And then at the end of that week, the next week will be Austin Hayes. If that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm conveying that message correctly, but I want to make sure that we're getting Skinner at-bats against righties because I don't want that to hinder his development. It's very crucial that he gets at-bats against right-handed pitching. If not, the numbers will never get a chance to go up and they'll only go down. So runners on first and second now with nobody out. Unfortunately, with Sean Skinner's clutch rating, it's lower than his actual contact against righties is. So you're really just hoping you get a pitch down the middle that you can handle. Or maybe you just bunt. As this one's going to be hit back up the middle. It's his first base hit of his career, and it's also an RBI. Sean Skinner gives the Angels the lead. The first hit of his career. I'd love to get his first home run. I've also not hit a home run with Sean Skinner. Even when I've played with him at AA or AAA, I've never done it. Dennis Brown the other day, our first-round selection last season, I did get a home run with him when I was playing off camera. And let me tell you, that guy is somebody to be excited about. But Sean Skinner gets his first big league base hit and his first big league RBI on Mother's Day. Gotta love it. And I wish there was nobody on second because I'd love to pick up the first stolen base of Skinner's career as well, as it's going to be a strikeout on Shanuel. He's definitely struggled so far this season. But Luis Rengifo has not, especially against righties. For some reason, his attributes wouldn't indicate that he can hit righties, but he can hit them pretty well. As this one's going to get through, as this one may result in another run, and it will. Skinner advances to third on the throw, and it's runners on the corner with only 1 out. Christian Javier has his hands full as it's Mike Trout's turn at the plate. Trout hits this one on the ground. It's going to be a tough double play. There's one, and they're not going to get Trout at first, and it will be a run for the Angels. 5-2, we take the lead. And the score will remain 5-2. It's Carlos Rodon on the mound now for the Astros. First round pick in 2024, Sean Skinner. Definitely excited about his career. As this one's going to be hit to right, it gets down, and this one is going to be extra bases. Sean Skinner rolls off the wall. Here we go. We got a chance for a potential inside the park home run. Here's the throw to Altuve. They will throw home, and he's going to be nailed at the plate. It will be a triple for Sean Skinner, but it's not an inside the park home run, and he just suffered a foot injury on the play. It doesn't appear serious, though, but it may be enough to hobble Skinner for at least the next few days. He will be replaced, and I guess we'll go ahead and replace him with the man, the myth, the legend, Austin Hayes. Michael King still on the mound here as he's dealing into the 7th inning, and it's another excellent outing for him as he continues simulating here. Michael King will not stay in the game. Tanner Scott will come in now as he gets a quick 1-2-3 inning. Ohapi, Moniak, and Neto will single. We'll get an at-bat with Austin Hayes here. That's unfortunate. I thought when the right fielder missed the ball and he fell on the ground, I thought, well, here you go. Here's your opportunity for his first big league home run. It would have had to have been an inside the park home run, which would have made it even cooler. But Sean Skinner, unfortunately, injured. That does suck. As Hayes is going to lift this one into right center. And that is going to be a fly out to end the 8th. As here comes Andrew Wantz to try and close it out. I like how he's got an entrance here. It's closing time here in the 9th. A 1.8 ERA so far this season. He's 9 of 10 on save opportunities. And he's looking to get save number 10 on the season. This one's hit deep to right field. Moniak ranging back. And he's there for the first out. Here's the 2-2 to Yainer Diaz. And he's going to look at that one for ball 3. It's a full 2 count. Or 3-2 count. Full count. Strike 3 as Andrew Wantz picks up the second out of the inning. Sometimes you commentate for an hour and 24 minutes and you start twisting your words up. You start saying things that don't make very much sense, as I just almost did it again. Sometimes doing the live commentary recordings can definitely mess with you. You start saying stuff that makes no sense. As here we go, 0-2 count for Andrew Wantz. Pitch number 11 upcoming. Strike 3 as the Los Angeles Angels pick up the series win. Sean Skinner records 2 hits in the day. Unfortunately, he left the game with an injury, but it was a triple and a base hit and an RBI on Mother's Day. Injured his foot trying to extend his triple into an inside the park home run. And Michael King gave us another excellent outing. So that's where I'm going to end off this episode. I would hit advanced day, but it looks like Sean Skinner is not injured. He had to leave the game with a sore foot, but I think he's going to be good to continue on. I think the goal is definitely to get him to play this entire first week here, and then starting off with this Baltimore series, we'll get Austin Hayes back in there to, everyday left field. But that's what's going to happen for the remainder of this season, maybe next year as well. Just we'll have to see how it plays out. But 21-20 is our record. That is good enough for 3rd in our division and 2 games back of the American League wild card. We're going to have to be better than 500 to be able to make the playoffs, but this is a pretty solid start to this season. Fernando Guillen is back, and he is back with a vengeance. And then you got Sean Skinner making his MLB debut as well. Definitely excited about that. 333 average so far. And then Reed Detmers is now a Cleveland Guardian. So we might actually be able to face him in the upcoming series. Nope, he's not going to be playing. He's not scheduled to start in our upcoming series. But like I said, I would hit advanced day, but I like to leave it right here so I can look at some scouting on my off time when I'm not recording a video. And then I can also play some games with the AA level and the AAA level. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, I'm just yapping at this point, so I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.